Hey guys, welcome back. This time we're going to be covering Glohm Gobblick. It's a side quest you can pick up on Ship-Shape Island after the wedding on Heat Freeze Island. And you're going to want to go back to Great Lighthouse 1 in the lush green sea at the start of the game to complete this quest. Unfortunately, you cannot fast travel here, so you're going to want to open up your sea map and then turn on fast sailing to get back here really quick. So you can either go straight to the boss by taking the fast travel warp pipe on the left from the entrance, or you can go right and go through the dungeon as normal and fight some new enemies that drop some Glohm items that you're going to need later. But it's up to you if you want to fight them or if you just want to go fight Glohm Gobblick. I'll cover both and I'll use timestamps if you want to jump ahead. If you want to fight the enemies and you don't want to go through the main entrance and you want to use the warp pipe instead, you can go up these stairs to get to them. Or you can go this way to get to the boss. But this is the room where you'll find the enemies I was talking about earlier. You're going to want attack boost and anti-spike specialist plugins for the first enemy I'll be showing. Their first attack is pretty simple. They'll spin around either Mario or Luigi and you just use your hammer when they're directly in front of you. I usually wait until about the third time around and then right after the swoosh sound, swing your hammer for the counter. Their second attack is a little more difficult and hard to read. If it's two quick jumps, then swing directly after. And sometimes it'll be two slower jumps and you'll have to pace yourself and swing at the right time. It'll take some practice. The new version of this enemy has a shield ability that they can put up on their turn, and it can absorb up to 2 hits, 1 per each shield. And that's why it's important that you have attack boost on so that you can get that shield out of the way. So if they go up, jump first with Mario, and then with Luigi right after. The first time around will be fast, the second will be much slower. If they were to go down, just start with Luigi instead. Pretty simple. For the variant of the jump move from earlier, you can see it's much slower when they're bouncing, and when they jump they're going to go slower as well, so just don't get too hasty. Just wait for it. It's not too bad. Got a Glohm crystal to drop, that's great. I recommend that you have loot booster on just to make sure that you get an item from these difficult enemies. This Glohm enemy variant is much tougher than its base version, but not as tough as the spiked enemy that we just fought. For the first move, just swing your hammer. If you don't want to try to get the counter, it's much safer to just swing and wake it up. And then the second move, you're going to want to jump as soon as they do to get the counter, otherwise just jump and dodge. Probably safer to do it that way. I recommend just going ahead and using bro moves here, because you're going to be healing up and getting all your BP back before you get to the boss anyway, so it'll make the fight much quicker to just go ahead and use bro moves. I'll give a tip for Mario's Bomb Baby Bro move because you're going to be needing it for the boss very soon. Start out by flicking the left stick to the right to throw a bomb to Mario. Then as that first bomb is getting to Mario, you're going to hit A and flick the left stick to the right again at the same time. It's the only way I've found to get the maximum damage out of the move. It may take a bit of practice, as you can see I messed up right there, but you'll get it soon enough. Once these enemies are defeated, they'll let out a shockwave you have to jump over. Pretty simple. We've got a Glohm fragment and crystal. This time, there's actually 3 new items that I've found that are all Glohm related. Glohm dust being the third item that I found. There may be more. You can stay down here and keep fighting the enemies if you want, but for now it's on to the boss. This fight is really tough, especially at level 29 instead of the recommended 35, but if you use this build at either level, it shouldn't be too bad. So you're going to want empower counters, not dropping an auto syrup jar. You're also going to want the auto 1-up, but that one isn't as important. The first move he'll be using, he digs his tentacle into the ground, right for Mario, left for Luigi. Sometimes it pops up twice, sometimes 3 times. I think once it was even 4 times. You just kind of gotta eyeball it and get a feel for it. And the second move, probably his hardest move to dodge, the high pitch quick windup is jump, and the low pitch longer windup belly drum is don't jump. And I recommend always jumping with Mario and Luigi at the same time because you can't target them both. And just, you know, it'll take some practice, but you can get it. The strategy for this fight is going to be staying on the offensive with your strongest bro move attacks every single turn. Don't bother healing, you've got not dropping on, so you'll go to 1 instead of getting KO'd. If they do get KO'd, use a 1-up shroom, but that's the most healing that I would recommend. For this attack, once he's finished spinning, swing your hammer. Left tentacle is Luigi, right tentacle is Mario. I covered Mario's bomb derby bro attack, but not Luigi's jump helmet. I really don't see the need to cover it. You just move under Luigi, hit B just as or just before he hits the spring. It's pretty simple. Empower counters is a great plugin for this fight because you're going to have to dodge these moves and counter them anyway, so you might as well be doing more damage because the fight will only get harder the longer that he stays alive. This is where the auto syrup jar will come in handy. You always want one of the brothers to have a bro attack available on their next turn, especially after this Luigi logic move, because they will both get 1 turn apiece to do critical damage to the boss, and it's a guaranteed crit, and you don't want to waste that turn recovering BP. So if you skipped to the Gobblick fight with the timestamps, you might not have heard my explanation about Mario's bomb derby bro attack. What you're going to want to do is flick the left stick to the right, and as soon as the first bomb gets to Mario, hit A to swing your hammer, but at the same time, flick the left stick to the right and keep repeating that until the move is finished. Without doing that, I've not been able to get maximum damage out of the move and finish it correctly. Luigi just needs to be constantly throwing the bombs for Mario to hit, or you won't be able to finish it. I explained his underground tentacle move earlier. I think I can do a little better here. Whichever arm he raises, right for Mario, left for Luigi. And then the only consistent thing among the variants is that the ground will tear up in front of Mario or Luigi, and you have just enough time to counter with your hammer as soon as you notice the ground tearing up in front of them. If you found a better way, go with that. That was what worked best for me. Once he gets around half health, he'll start using different moves. This very first one is extremely important to counter. Go ahead and prepare your hammer. As soon as you see his head go back, go ahead and swing to counter. If he is able to hit you with that move, he'll absorb Mario and Luigi's health, and it does a ton of damage to them, and he heals for even more, and you do not want him healing. Quick tip for the belly move, don't try to get the candy, it's not worth it, just dodge everything. When the auto syrup jar plug runs out of charges, switch to the auto 1-up. Just in case one of them go down, you can get them back up without having to use a turn. You're going to want to stay on the offensive as much as possible and not use any turns for healing, especially once he gets to half health, because he may heal himself with that attack I mentioned previously, and you just can't have that. You got to end the fight quickly as possible once it gets to this point. Now for his other new move, if he raises his right arm to the left, he's going to swipe at Luigi first, then Mario. Just jump in that order. He can also lift his left arm to the right, which means you'll jump first with Mario and then Luigi. Pretty simple. If you do dodge that attack, then it'll give you an opportunity to use another Luigi logic attack. Also, this is pretty simple. You just hit B when he's in front of the tornado. It's pretty forgiving, so you shouldn't miss it very often, and you're going to want to hit these as much as possible. I did finally have to use a syrup jar to recover some of Mario's BP. Mario is the stronger of the two, the way that I played the game, so I wanted to make sure that he had enough to do his bro attack, because he does more than Luigi does. Just stay attacking the whole time. Use bro moves as much as possible. If you run out of BP, recover that. If one of the bros goes down, get them back up. Other than that, always stay attacking, especially after Luigi logic moves. Even if you have to use a regular attack, the crit is just too important. And if you do this, you should clear the fight. If not, you can always come back at a higher level. I did it at 29. That's 6 levels under the recommended level, so I assume that at 35 it'll be much, much easier with better gear, better stats, and better plugins. But you should be able to do this. When you beat the boss, come on back to Ship-Shape Island to turn in the quest. I also recommend always using this ball move to get around once you get the upgrade. It's so much faster than just walking. The rewards for this quest are great. Anti-Glohm Specialist always does crits to glommed enemies. That'll be helpful throughout the game, and when I assume you go back to Great Lighthouse 2 to fight that boss again once they're glommed. The Gobblick Boots DX was the best piece of gear I had at this point in the game. It heals 10% of the damage you do back to whoever's wearing them. And yeah, I hope I was able to help anyone who's having trouble with this fight. I'll be back soon with Monster Mania 3 or the next fight in this series. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope you have a good one.
Baby, I wish you missed me like that. If I was him, I'd call you